Konnichiwa, my nerds, geeks, and freaks. Welcome back to NerdSplosion, the weekly show where, based on a monthly topic, I nerd out about this and that. As we are still in One Piece month, I wanted to talk today about something else that One Piece is known for: controversies. Now, you may think, oh, One Piece is an innocent anime. Like, how can anything be controversial? Well, you'd be surprised. I got a lot of notes here, and a lot of these, I also took notes from the YouTube channel Grand Line Review. I kind of loosely took some notes, so I'm not specifically copying them. If you want a more in-depth look at some of these controversies, definitely go see Grand Line Review on YouTube. I'll put the link to his channel in the description. But, I suppose, let's hear an ad, and then talk about some controversies. Alright, let's talk about some One Piece controversies, shall we? Now, I might butcher some of these Japanese names, but just bear with me. But a lot of the controversies here, I was surprised at some of them. A lot of them I did not know. There's one or two of them that I had an idea of, but some of these I did not know. So, without wasting time, let's get into the first one, shall we? The voice actor for Ivankov, Norio Imamura, caused a lot of controversy because of many things, including being a tattoo enthusiast, making some people believe he is part of the Yakuza. But mainly because when he wanted to show off, his tattoo work, he took a picture of his lower body completely nude, showing off his wine. This caused the team at One Piece to separate themselves from him and replace him as a voice actor. And so the voice actor we now have for Ivankov is Mitsu Iwata, who is, basically the voice of Ivankov now, the most iconic voice of Ivankov. And this guy lost his whole career because of this. Basically because he was like, I want a tattoo over my body and I want to show off my work. Whoops, there's my dick. But, no, I feel bad for the guy. Just an innocent dick pic, an unintentional dick pic, basically screwed your whole career. I feel bad for that, man. I mean, I'm not complaining about the voice we have for Ivankov now, because Mitsu Iwata does a really good voice for him. But, yeah. Don't show your dick online if you're a voice actor. Alright, the next controversy I have here is the country of Turkey banned the anime after 52 episodes, all because of smoking. I guess people in Turkey really don't like smoking in their Japanese media. Not like the 4Kids censorship, where they replaced things in the anime, but Turkey just straight up banned the anime after 52 episodes. Now, the 4Kids censorship, oh my god, I'll get to that in a little bit, but it's so goddamn irritating. But strangely enough, in Turkey, the manga is still present, but even that had some issues with release, because there's a lot of them that got delayed because there was a translation issue. Like, a lot of the sound effects had to be translated to Turkish, which apparently is a really tough job if, you've already written you've already printed everything, and you're like, oh, we need to change that because people need to read it in our language. But yeah, I guess you can't watch, people in Turkey can't experience all of One Piece, the 1,000+ episodes that we're on now. Alright. Next controversy! Ace's back tattoo has caused some controversy. Now, you all know what Ace's back tattoo is. It's the Whitebeard Jolly Roger. It's got Whitebeard's logo, and it's got the bones, the crossbones, basically. His back tattoo, according to the original manga, caused some controversy. Originally in the manga, his back tattoo did not have the crossbones that we know and love today, but instead represented a Japanese Buddhist manji symbol, which us Americans might recognize as the Nazi swastika. Now, I'm going to go into a little history about that. Like, yes, in World War II, we know that the swastika very well. We know it because a lot of Republicans use it now. Oh shit, did I say that out loud? But no. So, the actual history with the swastika is that originally, it faced the other way. The direction of the lines, it faced the other way, and it came from, Buddhist colonies and, early Japanese colonies, and it's supposed to be a symbol of divinity. But then, those goddamn Nazis came along in World War II, and they're like, Oh, look at this beautiful symbol. We're gonna take it and make it mean that we hate jewels. It's just so it was supposed to be a symbol of peace and divinity, and the Nazis came along and ruined everything, as they usually do. Yeah, obviously they changed the symbol, in the anime and the manga and for so forth, just to avoid controversy in all other countries, especially the U.S. Next, controversy. The 4Kids censorship. My God. So 4Kids is an animation licensing company widely known for most of us, seeing Pokemon as kids. They were responsible for bringing One Piece to children's television, so Cartoon Network, whatever your public access channels were. But in doing so, 4Kids decided to censor a lot of the show, as they saw a lot in One Piece that was not very kid-friendly, so they're kind of like YouTube now. Given that most of their audience was between 7 and 10. So they really wanted to market One Piece to 7 and 10-year-olds. Such examples were Sanji's cigarette that he usually smokes being replaced by a sucker, all guns replaced with either water guns or other stupid, non-lethal, comical stuff. Smoker, who he ate the smoke devil fruit, which gives him the power of a smoke. He smoked cigars all the time, and 4Kids removed that. And one of the biggest offenses that I found out about is that in the original anime, you look at Nami's backstory, Nami and Nojiko, I think it was her sister or friend's name, and they basically lived with a woman named Belmar, who was basically like their mother. And there's one point in the anime where Arlong is trying to get all kinds of money out of the village that Nami lived in as a child, and Belmar basically was just like, hey, leave my kids out of this, I'll, take me instead. Take my life instead. And she basically sacrifices herself for Nami, and Arlong straight up kills her. Now, what do you think 4Kids did with that? Obviously, they don't want people going shooty and unaliving everyone. So what do you think they did with Belmar? They had Arlong send her to a dungeon for the rest of her days, and apparently, according to the English dub, she's just still in the dungeon, just never to be seen. Oh, actually no, quote them. Quote, whoever does the English dub. She's still in the dungeon, but no one cares about her anymore. Are you kidding me right now? That's such bullshit how you did that. Alright.
Next controversy.
Nico Robin's skin color. Now this one, it's not a huge deal, honestly, to me, but apparently it was a huge deal to a lot of people. People claim that since her skin is extremely white after the time skip, that it's the studios, it's like Toei Animation, whoever else is in charge of One Piece, basically whitewashing the character. And a good explanation for her skin color could be that her skin has always been whiter because there's early art of Nico Robin that shows her skin as, a lighter, whiter color. Another explanation is that during that 2 years, during the time skip, she was stuck in a frozen tundra. I just want to point out, I love what I put in my notes for this, because I wrote out everything, and I put basically in script form, and then at the end of this I put, but honestly, who cares? I mean, that's the thing too, honestly, who cares what her skin color is? Yeah, she was tan in this art, she was tan at this point, and then she's whiter at this point. That can happen to literally anybody. I don't see why people have to get so upset about it. I hate these, gatekeeping people who are like, oh, we gotta have everything the same way forever, otherwise I'm gonna bitch and moan like a little toddler. In 2019, Toei Animation, who is, responsible for the anime being released to stuff like Crunchyroll and everywhere you can see the Japanese thing on, Toei Animation, they retweeted a screenshot from a pirated version of a manga volume that had not released yet. Whoopsie doodle. This obviously pissed off a lot of One Piece fans, considering Toei Animation, they usually put out episodes of the anime, they're a year behind where the manga is. So the manga the writers of the manga, when they write the manga, it's a year ahead of where the anime is. So, I mean, obviously the manga is going to have the ending way before we see it in the anime. And I guess Toei Animation was like, oh, this looks cool. And they're like, whoops, we just spoiled a huge part of the story later that no one is going to know about yet. And a lot of people were like, hey, what the fuck, man? Alright, next controversy. Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, he used to work under a man called Watsuti, who basically was a senpai. But Watsuti came under a lot of fire when he was found in possession of child pornography. And he was fined an equivalent of $2,000 US. I don't know how much that is in yen, but yeah, it's the equivalent of $2,000 US. But he was able to continue his work a year later, which is kind of weird that, he gets in trouble for that. He just fined $2,000 and then he continues work the next year. Whereas the voice actor for Ivankov accidentally showed his dick to the world and lost his entire career forever. I don't know. Something's fishy about that. But where the controversy comes from is at some point, later down the line, Ichiro Oda actually interviews him, and a lot of people found that weird. They're like, oh, well, Watsuti did this. Why are you talking to him? Blah, 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 blah. You must support child pornography. And it's basically people jumping to conclusions. And, I mean, Diane Sawyer once interviewed Charles Manson. That doesn't mean she approves of murder. That doesn't mean she approves of serial killers. I don't know. It's just a lot of people freaking out over nothing. Which is basically what a lot of controversies are. It's just people freaking out about nothing. Alright, next controversy. This is kind of a short one. South Korea banned an entire section of the manga and an exhibit made for One Piece for using the symbol of the rising sun. They banned it because basically to them it's seen as a symbol of Japanese aggression. And they don't like the rising sun. There wasn't much to that. That's just basically, it was like, yeah, South Korea banned it because of this symbol. And everybody was like, oh, okay, we'll go with that. Alright. Next controversy. Now, this has to do with an English voice actor, an English dub voice actor, Vic Mignogna. I'm going to go with Vic. So, Vic was the English voice dub for the character Sabo, and he had to be replaced after sexual harassment allegations surfaced about him. It's also because of these controversies that there is some controversy around the third opening song, Hikara-e, because the English version of that song, he also sang. And yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be a voice actor, you just gotta watch what you do, guys. You don't want any sexual harassment allegations to come out, because that's not gonna end well for anybody. Alright. Last controversy I have on here, and I put this last because this is the most recent. This actually happened this past year in 2021. The most recent controversy having to do with the editors of One Piece, Takano Iwasaka and Natto, or Natto. Like I said, I'm going to butcher these Japanese names. I'm sorry. I'm a pasty-faced white guy. They're pretty much, as much of the face of One Piece as Ichiro Oda is, to the point where they regularly post on the official One Piece YouTube channel. Like, they'll post updates and, Q&As and all that stuff. The controversy comes from this past year, 2021, as they were hosting a live stream called 1000 Logs, obviously to celebrate the 1000th episode of One Piece. During the live streams, they were, screen sharing from a phone to show off, these different websites, websites people could go to. But there was a little secret hiding in their browser history, which you could probably guess what it is. There were a little bit of hentai in their browser history, and once they found out that was showing, they immediately ended the stream. They privated the video, and they basically was like, "Oh, we're having some technical difficulties." I'm like, "Yeah, I bet you're working on those technical difficulties really hard." Gross. But yeah, don't, if you're gonna be doing that kind of stuff, if you're doing a screen share during a live stream, clear your browser history. That's the number one rule of being on the internet. Clear your browser history. That's like the most important rule. Clear your browser history. With that is all I had for One Piece controversies. I'm sure there's a lot more out there, but that's all I wanted to cover for today. What did you think of these controversies? And is there any that I didn't know about that you want to share with me? Let me know on social medias. The link will be in the link tree in the description. Also, in the description, like always, is the voice message link through Anchor. You could support this podcast through Anchor. You totally don't have to, but it definitely helps me out, and I can afford to give my cats treats. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Drink plenty of water, stay hydrated. And as always, I will see you guys in the next episode. Nerd out!